Okay.
Hmm. So the Roman Empire was an empire that stretched around the Mediterranean, actually all the way to the eastern side of the Black Sea. It it had both Latin and Greek languages on the east and the west side. They contributed a lot to engineering, like water management. They constructed the Colosseum, where real army ships would stage like a real sea battle. So it was very, very important. It was the time when Christianity was adopted. It was fully adopted only by the 4th century. But Christianity started to become the dominant religion. And from there on, the Catholic Church basically took over in the Middle Ages, and that became the major force. So the Greeks, the Romans, and then the Catholic Church in the Middle Ages became the main power in Europe. It was a period of relative stability, especially in the Eastern Roman Empire. In the north, there were a lot of wars still being fought with the barbarians, or the Germans, the predecessors of the Germans, the Roman Empire became, in spite of that, very significant. How did they manage to do that? Well, one of the things that they followed is that actually the Roman Empire was very inclusive. They made people share the Roman Empire, and they had a democratic system where everybody within the Roman Empire all areas could send representatives. So people became really part of the empire, and it was not like first class and second class citizens. Everybody could become a Roman. There was very strong leadership from Roman empires. It was famous for democratic rule, but that changed gradually. More and more empires began to run, and crazier people started to run the place. There were emperors who were kind of fortune tellers. There were emperors who were shepherders. There were emperors who were chosen. That were actually not really a good. They didn't fulfill their duties as empire very much, but they were popular, almost like the common today's populism. Not the best candidates, but the people who managed to basically give the best political show prior to the elections were chosen as emperors. So that also partly led to the decline of the Roman Empire. First in the west side fell. One of the reasons was that actually they were economically speaking much weaker than the eastern part of the empire. The eastern part thrived already. They were much ahead of Europe, culturally speaking, and also economically speaking, with direct connections with China and the Silk Route. That made them more advanced, and the western side they collapsed.
Yeah. By the way, did they speak Greek language?
In the eastern side, yes, they did. The main languages that were spoken in the west side was Latin, and the east side was the Greek.
Okay, so I remember Constantinople. They spoke Greek.
Constantinople was Greek, right?
Really? By the way, could you briefly remind me the difference between the Greece democracy and Roman democracy. Roman is larger than Greece. So they had more different management.
Well, basically, actually, the Greek democracy, from what I know, and that this is, I don't have much in-depth knowledge, but basically, the Greek democracy was a democracy a little bit like Switzerland, with referenda, where basically people had equal representation, so one vote, one man, one vote.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas under the Roman system, they worked with delegates, so the delegates represented different groups, so there was not equal representation under the Roman system.
I see. And like
And also
similar
they,
to
and also they
American
actually,
way.
sorry?
Similar to American election way.
Right. That was the Roman system. Under the Roman system, they had a kind of election system, and they actually had also two chambers. One was with the more aristocrats, which is basically like the Senate today, and the other one was formed by members of the plebs. The plebs were well, basically the non-aristocrats.
So it means very similar to current legislature.
Right. This is basically how I think that where a lot of the current democratic systems are modeled after, with the Senate and the Parliament.
So entertainment is almost similar to Greece, right? Roma, they had a Colosseum.
Yeah, but they are even more dramatic than that. So they really went very far in providing entertainment. It was really a way to distract for emperors, or to distract away from problems. So there was a time when they actually filled the Colosseum with water and brought in real warships and staged a sea battle in front of an audience, like real warships, and they actually performed a war.
Oh, really? They fill in with water, and they
with water, yes.
They brought the sea battle like that.
Right.
Oh,
right,
really?
Right. Yeah, it's amazing. It's
amazing.
You cannot imagine that if you see the Colosseum.
Oh, I see. So it means I just like currently we have TV or some internet. At that time they don't have kind of leisure, so they physically they had a show, they had an event,
right,
instead of TV.
Right. So there's another example where an emperor, I don't remember his name, but he actually made a point of fighting against slaves as a gladiator.
Oh yeah.
And
movies,
he was killed by a slave. So
that's right. And also the other issue, my concern is they read the books. They read books because at that time Greece they have lots of publishing books or popular books.
Well, there was of course literacy was quite high in that period, much higher than, for example, in the Middle Ages, in Rome and in Greece. So I'm sure that they read books because they must have. Otherwise, the literacy wouldn't be that high.
Oh, it means very similar to Japanese culture of Edo era. Culture is very similar. How to entertain people and how they're going to government try to keep them happy. This is very similar. And of course, at Edo era they don't have any battle, but this is different from the Roman Empire. But culture or some how to keep them happy is almost very similar.
They didn't have any battle in the Edo era. I thought that they had lots of battles. Well, among the people
Yeah, you mean the
Japan,
Roman Empire, right? Yes. But I'm talking about.
I understood that at times actually there was almost a 50-50 balance between farmers and the what's it called, the soldiers, and that the farmers were to support all the soldiers in order to keep them safe. So if in such a society, there must be quite a lot of wars, otherwise that's not justifiable, is it?
You mean they had a war?
Right.
はい、皆さんこんにちは、雲野です。今日はですね、雲野塾の研修のプログラムをご紹介したいと思います。で、こういうふうなホームページありますけれども、ぜひですね、一度中身をご覧になっていただきたいと思います。今日はブーキューブさんのスタジオに来て、この収録をしておりますので、中身はこういうふうになってて、今最近ホットなね、グローバルリーダーの定義など書いてあります。で、特に経団連が作成しました留学すれば英語ができて専門性を持つというだけではですね、グローバルリーダーになれないとここに書いてありますようにですね、仕事ができる、専門性を持つ、英語ができるだけじゃなくてですね、私どもの塾ではリベラルアーツということ、それからもう一つは孫子の兵法、さらにはですね、日本の歴史というものを合わせて教えることによって皆さんが海外の欧米の方々と、もしくは華僑圏の方々と正々堂々と渡り合えるような人物を育成しようというふうなことを考えています。ここに次のスライドが出ておりますけれども、ここに書いてありますのはですね、さらに、私どもの雲野塾の中身につきましてはですね、欧米の資料しか使っておりません。また実際に雲野塾は英語でやっておりますので、英語の講師がこう話しておりますけど、学習はですね、日本の歴史をまだ教えてますので、学習の午後はですね、日本のプログラムをしております。で、以前はこれ有料だったので、今はですね、実際に会場費も取っていただいておりませんで、毎回5000円ということで、朝9時から午後5時までやっておりますので、ぜひ皆さんですね、ご検討の上ご参加いただければと。英語のできない方もですね、学習の午後こういうふうな研修をしておりますので、ぜひご参加いただければというふうに思っておりますので、よろしくお願いします。で、ここにさらにですね、グループ討議とか実務の勘どころを教えると書いてありますけど、実際には私が10年ほどですね、欧米の新聞とか雑誌等をですね、集めてきた、もともと英語のベースでございますので、そうしたものをですね、50セッションのテーマに分けて資料作成しております。そういうことで、世界のオペレーション、もしくはカントリーリスクも含めてですね、しかも世界のトップの方々に対してもいろいろな分析とか洞察をしてですね、議論をしております。そういったことも含めてですね、今後ともよろしくお願いしたいと思います。以上で私の挨拶を終えますが、今回のこのビデオの収録にあたってはですね、V キューブさんのスタジオをお借りしてですね、お時間を頂戴して、このビデオを作成させていただきました。よろしくお願いします。どうもありがとうございました。